What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. And yes, we have a one again from Manosphere Highlights Daily. I just had to do this one because he did another version of this movie, for Last American Virgin. But he kind of gives a different perspective. And yeah, and the title is He Tried to Save Her from Chad, but she does not want to be saved at all. Yeah, Gary. So let's get into it.
You, you want me? Oh, I can't sleep.
This scene isn't just a turning point in The Last American Virgin. It's a gut-wrenching revelation of how deeply value, perception, and purity all intersect in a man's eyes. This scene is pure 80s heartbreak, made iconic by the Commodores' haunting "Oh No."
Oh, I can't sleep.
Even without words, the emotions run high. Karen's choices, Rick's confidence, and Gary's desperation. These elements are all woven into the song's bittersweet tones.
Oh, no, I can't think.
"Oh No" is right as Rick and Karen inch closer, about to cross a line that Gary can't bear to watch. He's rushing to the stadium, hoping to stop his best friend from busting Karen's cherry.
They probably just went for a walk.
Bullshit, David. He took her to the football field to bust her cherry, and you know it.
He's running toward heartbreak, and it's brutal. If you've been rocking with us since last year, you already know we did a full breakdown of The Last American Virgin. But today, we're zooming in on this moment, because this isn't just a scene, it's a lesson. But to really get the impact of this scene and why it matters so much to Gary, we need to start from the beginning.
Ain't that a man?
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
So, who is Karen? She's the girl everyone remembers from The Last American Virgin. Diane Franklin's character wasn't your typical bombshell, but she had that 80s it girl charm, the kind of natural beauty that felt genuine and grounded. Dark curls, wide eyes, a sweet girl next door vibe. Karen looked like someone you actually might know. Her charm was subtle but unforgettable, accessible yet untouchable. Karen's appeal wasn't just about looks, it was what she represented. She had a youthful energy that's universally appealing. Studies even show men are wired to find that attractive because it signals vitality and fertility. Karen embodied this naturally.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Well,
Thanks again, Gary.
But why is Gary racing to the football field? Why does he care if Rick, his best friend, gets to Karen first? Before we get into Gary's heartbreak, let's talk about Karen's choices.
I'm going crazy knowing he will be your lover tonight.
Now here's your dose of red pill vitamins. Karen isn't being forced into this. They are at a freaking high school football field of all places, and Karen wants to be there with Rick.
Yep. So do you see? Wants to be there. She does not want to be saved at all. So this is the lesson for a lot of guys in my, back in the days. Is she gonna go bang the other dude? Let her go. It ain't for you. Or if she gonna bang you, it's just your turn. So in the back of your head, you're just like, yep, you got to know this. And yeah, if the chick doesn't want to get with you, okay, I'm like, go have fun. I'm on my way. So that's what it is. Karen wants to be there. She wants to. So let's get into this.
Rick, does she look like she wants to be saved? For all the audience
No.
sympathy Gary's about to get, it's essential to remember that women are the gatekeepers of sex.
Mhm.
Nothing absolutely nothing happens without a woman's consent. And if it does, that's another story entirely. But this, Karen is choosing to be there.
Yep.
Don't let any woman tell you crap like this.
We had an emotional affair before we even had a physical affair. We were talking on the phone for months. It wasn't premeditated. So I hate to say it sounds cliche, but it just happened. I didn't just fall on his penis, but it just happened.
Yep, it just happened. So there you go.
Hi there. I'm
Rick, the classic player, has no plans of settling down, but Karen is with him, thinking she'll be the one to change him.
Oh, come on, man. You might as well just forget about him. Maybe he'll give you sloppy seconds.
Here's the red pill
One-itis.
truth. Women today, like women back then, choose. And it's this ability to choose that shaped modern hookup culture. Sex doesn't happen without consent. And as much as Gary wants to stop this, he's powerless against Karen's decision. Men love to believe they can save a woman from her own choices. But the truth is, she was never looking for a savior to begin with.
Yep. There you go.
I'm going crazy with love.
Gary isn't just racing to the football field because he's jealous. It's deeper than that. To him, Karen represents something sacred. The potential for commitment, trust, even building a family. Sex, for Gary, isn't just casual, it's a bond. And seeing Karen share this with Rick, a guy who's allergic to responsibility, isn't just a betrayal. It's a punch to the soul.
Me neither.
Rick's track record speaks volumes. Unprotected sex, jokes about getting women pregnant, and zero accountability. And yet, it's Gary who ends up footing the bill, literally, when Karen gets pregnant. He pays for the abortion not because he supports her choice, but because he's hopelessly devoted to a girl who chose a man who couldn't care less. This is where the red pill truth hits hard. For men, purity is about trust and exclusivity. It's not just about being the first, but about avoiding the devastating fraud.
Let's see. And you see that one blonde lady had a thing for Gary, but nope, he had the one-itis on good old Karen.
Or raising someone else's kid. When Karen sleeps with Rick, she's essentially locking herself out of Gary's vision of a future together.
There is
I
no
promise you, it'll be all right.
Gary, there is no future. She's gone. She's disappeared. But you're being the little simp to just, I'll pay for the abortion. I'll take care of you. You know what happens, Gary.
Karen, I know dozens of girls who've been through it, and it was fine.
This scene captures an intimacy that, for Gary, should be more than a casual hookup.
I can't sleep.
And as the Commodore's "Oh no" echoes through the stadium, it sets the tone for what's unfolding. A bittersweet, almost tragic moment. For Gary, this is sacred ground. For Rick, it's just another conquest.
Yep. Chad struck.
Make the magic last for more.
Karen's not just falling for any guy. She's falling for Rick, the high school Chad who probably won't even remember this moment tomorrow. She's hooked. Chad struck, leaving her less available to men like Gary who see her as more than just a night out. It's biology at play too. Science tells us that oxytocin, the bonding hormone, kicks in during moments like these, especially for women, forming ties that can be hard to break. For Gary, this realization stings. He knows deep down that he'll always be Karen's backup plan, not her first choice. This isn't just attraction, it's a permanent stamp that will stick with Karen long after this night.
I did my best.
Yep, and now you see, Gary, and of course, even if you're still hoping, what is it? her mind is stuck on chat, chat. And, that's like the sign, to just like, nope, she ain't for me. Time to roll out. So, yep, Gary.
But I guess my best wasn't good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So why does this matter so much to Gary? Reputation. Let me talk to you for a minute while this bittersweet violin melody carries the weight of everything we've just witnessed. For men, a woman's value lies in her exclusivity and purity, while for women, a man's value is tied to his resources and status. When men treat women like everyone else, they lose their appeal. But in modern hookup culture, women aren't willing to give exclusivity in exchange for status. And this disconnect is breaking down relationships. Gary's heartbreak isn't just about Karen's decision, it's about what her choice says about her value in his eyes. In the 80s, women were still often seen as angels with reputations that were fiercely protected. Karen's character is portrayed as the good girl being corrupted by Rick, a moment where Gary hopes to save her, clinging to the values that once defined relationships. Fast forward to 2025, and this scene would hit differently. Today, Karen wouldn't be the good girl gone wrong. She'd be another character navigating a culture that celebrates just hooking up. Karen's innocence is no longer something to protect, but a choice among many. And Gary, holding on to his ideals, is almost like a relic, a last of his kind. The cultural shift means that those deep traditional values he holds don't quite fit, and he's left clinging to a code that.
Yep. And that's why, a lot of men, it's like time to look elsewhere, passport bro. But even around the world, you know, sometimes the feminism has like creeped in. So, so you have to like really vet your women because, yeah. Yeah. So this dream of the girl next door is pretty much a dream.
That no longer applies. The Last American Virgin isn't just about a lost love, it's about the loss of a way of loving. Gary is the last of a kind, a stand in for those who struggle to adapt to a world that has moved on. Men like him, holding on to the values of the past, are set up for heartbreak. Welcome to modern times, where those values of the past, they only apply if you're ready to face the disappointment that times have changed. Fellas, stay sharp, stay focused, and as always, manosphere.
Yep. So yeah, that was a nice video by Manosphere Highlights Daily. Yeah. So in today's time, yeah, law, it's like in the West, it's just basically looking for a needle in a haystack, and that's why sometimes it's like get your passport and get out and about. So yeah, and for guys like Gary, that's what it's gonna have to do. If he's dreaming of a Karen that's the girl next door, that's not going to really exist as much anymore. And even going out, you still got to vet. So yeah, so it is what it is. It's time to move on. All right. So if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.